Hang on to your hats and glasses, mutineers, cause this here's the wildest podcast in the wilderness. Yeehaw!
Mutineers, welcome swabs, scalawags, and sons of bitches, the Wibbly Wobbly official and official, wildly inaccurate yet dead nuts on Disney podcast, inappropriate on so many levels. And tonight we say a tender-hearted fuck you to 2019. We also talk about a lot of Star Wars stuff, and that is our entire show.
Thanks, Mr. News Guy. You get the rest of the show off, but I appreciate you for. Oh, he's gone.
He left.
Man, you got the hell out of here quick.
Fucker, he took my Christmas cookies with him.
Wait, what? Wait, you guys are getting cookies?
Son of a bitch.
Not now, we're not.
Get him. You know what? He's not welcome back in 2020. Unless he brings cookies.
I'll add him to the list.
You'll add him to the list?
Mm-hmm.
What list?
Of not welcome back in 2020.
How big is the list?
So, okay, I need a consensus here. And Jake already knows my reasoning before this.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, you will.
Okay.
So this is more for Jordan and Robbie.
All right.
Is 2020 the last year of the decade, or is it the first year of the next decade? Robbie, let's start with you.
I don't know.
No.
I see your conundrum. Does the decade start on the 0 or does the decade start on the 1?
I believe it starts on 1. Because there was no year with 0, was there?
I mean, there was a movie by Harold Ramis called Year 0. No, actually, that was called Year 1. Oh, shit. God damn it. Well, there's our answer.
That was year 1.
That was year 1.
But here's the thing. Here's what I was trying to explain to Josh. Every year is the beginning of a decade. It's just 10 years back from that year.
Well, I mean...
We're entering a new decade from 2010 ago.
I mean, if you go by that, every fucking day is a new decade.
Yeah.
Every minute, every second.
Time is an illusion.
Decade.
So are we counting the actual number of the year, or are we counting the space of time between that year from year 0 to 1? That would be 1 year. Then 1 to 2 would be the next year.
Right.
Well, but there's no year 0. It starts at 1. It starts at motherfucking 1.
Now hold on, Josh. And the historian will back me up on this. There wasn't a lot of numbered years. Like, somewhere along the line, we shifted.
I can tell you that our calendar has changed twice since then.
Boom! There you go.
Once in August and once in July.
Then yeah. Well,
once in July and once in August.
well, it. That was one of the changes. Was the addition of those 2 months. That was one change, because then we got the Gregorian calendar.
What?
Was it chanting?
There's the Julian calendar, and then there's the Gregorian calendar. Like, the calendar has changed twice.
What do we use?
Pretty sure we still use the Gregorian calendar.
Who's Greg?
He was a guy.
A bunch of chanting monks.
Yeah.
Greg, the creator of time.
Yeah. He was he was a pope. I should have known that. But yeah, I feel like he was a monk at one point in time. The calendar was introduced in 1582 by Pope Gregory the. I don't know. Why don't you let me finish reading? You would have fucking found out.
I don't want to be Pope Gregory. I want to be Pope Greg. Just Pope Greg.
Keep reading, Jordan.
I'm gonna have to start over. I don't know where I left off.
It was Pope Gregory.
The calendar introduced in 1582 by Pope Gregory the 13th as modification to the Julian calendar.
So we're on Gregorian. And
the Julian, okay, so the difference is the Julian year is therefore on average 365.25 days long. The Gregorian calendar has the same month lengths as the Julian calendar, but in the Gregorian calendar, year numbers evenly divisible by 100 are not leap years, except those that are evenly divisible by 400 remain leap years.
So, wait,
so
what
we're still 1582.
Holy shit! Like, they had the Earth's rotation down that exact.
Dude, a lot of people don't give ancient civilizations enough credit. Like, there was I forget what his name was. I'll have to go back and fact check this, but there was like an ancient scientist that figured out the circumference of the Earth due to a pole sticking up out of the ground in Egypt and the way like its shadow was being cast.
Yeah, that's
a time of day.
Yeah, there's two poles.
Yeah, that's the one of the freaking. That's one of the freaking arguments used against flat earthers, and then they just go, nuh-uh.
I really thought I would have given it like the 1800s where we really narrowed down the whole leap year thing. Not way back then. You know what? Bravo, everybody. So, Josh, does that answer your question? Welcome to the new decade. Again.
Well, you never let me finish my fucking argument here. I was just cut off with facts.
Yeah.
You sound like a Trump supporter.
So in my entire life, Jesus. But I've seen shit on the internet. This is a new decade. And it's like, no, motherfucker.
After this, Josh is going to explain the tides.
They're magic.
Anyway, what's the rest of your question, Josh?
I don't know. I'm fucking ranting now. Fuck you guys.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the new decade starts on the 0 because that's when we officially start calling it whatever the new decade is. Like, it's next 3 days, it's going to be the 2020s. So therefore, that clock starts over. I think that's what I'm going to... So 20 to 29 is still 10 years.
Guys.
Not 20 to 30.
No, I'm going with freaking 21.
Fine, enjoy.
21's the new decade.
Why? Okay, first of all, Josh, why would you want to squeeze in one more entire year of this shitty decade?
It's on tens. It doesn't start on tens. It ends on tens.
10's a fake number. Numbers are only 0 through 9.
No, it starts on tens because the 9, like, once you go from 9 to 0, that reboots a whole new set of numbers. There's no number after 9 that isn't 10.
Josh, when do you become a decade old?
It was in 1988.
No, not you specifically. Well, then Josh's decade ended 2 years ago. Josh is 2 years into the future.
That'll happen.
Is it any better?
No, it fucking sucks.
Shit.
Buckle up. We're in for a hell of a year.
Oh. Anyway, guys, let's talk some Disney. We have a lot to talk about.
All right, look at it.
Let's do this.
Actually, we need to talk Star Wars.
I'm sorry, who owns Star Wars?
Disney.
Are you on a Disney podcast?
But still, we're talking Star Wars.
No, we're not. We're talking Disney.
Wait, before we talk any of that, hey, Robbie, that's a nice shirt you have on.
Thanks.
Hey, I had a nice shirt this week.
Wait, hold on a second. All right, that's
There.
Yes, there you go. Where did you get that, Robbie?
Santa Claus brought it to him.
No, Lily got it for me for our gift exchange.
Oh.
Well, she did a fantastic job picking out that shirt. And listener, if you want a shirt as awesome as Robbie's, you can go to MickeyMutineers.com and click on the store link.
I should have worn my new favorite shirt tonight.
Yeah, you should have.
My soaring over Tatooine.
I have. Hold, please.
All right.
And there's
Jake's
the pizza.
gone. That's a big goddamn pizza. Jordan, you see this pizza?
That's huge.
I don't know where mine is.
Those already?
But if I wanted another one, I could go to the store link at MickeyMutineers.com.
Yeah, I don't know which store Vanessa bought that from, so.
Well, there's only one store link on MickeyMutineers.com, but we are also on TeePublic, and that's the only shirt on TeePublic because, man, they are strict over there. Store Frontier is way better when it comes to fan art.
Good.
Which
as
is
far
weird.
as like getting designs approved.
Yeah, when I first signed up for TeePublic, they erased the entire store. I was like, I wrote them a letter. I was like, what? Why? And then they wrote back like 2 weeks later. I was like, oh right, sorry about that. And then they let me keep soaring over Tatooine. I was like, okay, well, like I had my Space Mountain shirts on there and everything, which I created. But I digress.
I think it's about time for me to add a new shirt design to the old store Frontier for Jordan Gasly.
Oh yeah. How do we get to your store?
Store Frontier / Jordan Gasly, I guess. I haven't sold a shirt in over a year, and I think it's only because I have not been really keeping up with it.
Shirts are hard.
I have a couple of ideas that I want to design for it, but one, I don't have the time to put pen to paper, and even if I did, I wouldn't even know how to scan it and edit it on the computer or anything like that. So, Jake,
I have a comment.
Yes.
I am currently taking online courses for Illustrator and Photoshop. So
Okay.
even if like you didn't use my stuff, I would volunteer my works just to practice.
sold. I have an idea that I want to do. I want to do my well, it's my face in a combination of Optimus Prime's face. So I want Optimus Prime's helmet with his antenna, but I want my eyes to be my thick rimmed glasses, and I want the faceplate to be my beard.
That's kind of cool.
Well, would you have a mouth?
Sure, why not? Or I don't know.
I mean, if you have in the faceplate, it'd be. But then you run the risk of looking like one of those Snapchat filters. Someone awesome would have to do it right.
So, but I would want my mustache to kind of swoop up, and then have like the base of the helmet around the chin.
Sounds like a Photoshop job, which is my next. I'll get back to you on that.
I don't know. Like I'm not. I don't know. Photoshop might be a little weird.
I need you to make my label for my hot sauce though, still too.
I know. Well, I'm going to use that as practice as well. I'm learning things, guys. I'm learning a lot. I've been doing this for a month now, and
Yeah.
well, I've produced nothing, but I'm learning a lot.
Can you Photoshop my beard onto Robbie?
Why would I waste my time with that?
Good point.
Tell Robbie to grow his own damn beard.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Try harder.
Wait, if he did, then it would cover that sweet shirt. So I don't like. No. You know what, Robbie? I like you for who you are. Right now.
That's
moment.
a stretch.
Hey, you know what? Hey, let's get right into this, guys, because this being the end of 2019, the end of the decade, Josh,
Yeah?
we did our best at keeping track of the Diz Twitter controversies throughout this year. I almost said decade, and that would have been a stretch, but throughout this year. And we're going to go through this list and relive some of these moments.
Okay. I actually have this list.
Okay, so should we start from the top or from the bottom?
Hold on. Let me look at the screenshot that you sent me. Let's start at the beginning of the year and work our way to the most recent.
Okay, I like that. So, beginning of the year, number 1 on the list.
Is blank for some reason.
We have no idea why.
I'm trying to remember now what the hell happened. Like, because this had to have happened in January. What the hell happened in January? You know what? I'm gonna Google
What the hell happened in January?
Disney controversies January 2019.
Wouldn't it be awesome if the entire list was just blank? We just led the listeners along. Number 2 is also blank. Okay, no, but while Jordan looks that up, let's move right into number 2, which actually has an entry. And
so I have something to say about this after you read it.
So number 2 happened at the end of March, and the big controversy was this is when Disney banned smoking, big strollers, and loose ice in all the parks. Josh, what do you have to say?
I saw a motherfucker walking around with a goddamn garden wagon, those foldable garden wagons, with their kid in that. When we were there last month.
That's too big.
And it doesn't have brakes. I got kicked out because my fucking wagon didn't have brakes. I was only riding it down small hills. No, remember we had that big wagon with inflatable wheels for Robbie and Mackenzie when they were,
last year.
Yeah, that one. And no, I fucking put them in the parking lot and towed them up to the front, and security said, no, you can't bring that in here. And I said, why not? And they said, because no brakes. I'm like, well, okay, fine. And I took it back out to my car and rented a stroller.
It's kind of stupid.
Well, I understand why with no brakes.
Yeah.
But I saw someone with a goddamn foldable garden wagon, and it didn't have brakes.
Was it full of loose ice?
Children.
They had children on ice?
No, yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
Anyways.
He shouldn't have been there with that because big strollers have been banned as of last March.
Huh.
Yeah.
Also, I'm fine. Like, I'm one of those people where the banning smoking didn't affect me at all.
Yeah, that's actually probably a good thing.
And I'm one of those people that if the banning of smoking affects you, I really don't give a care.
Yeah.
You weren't, God, I feel like I saw somebody on Twitter gripe about having to leave the park in order to have a cigarette. Yeah, and this was specifically from Magic Kingdom. They were like, I had to leave. I was all the way in the back of the park. Then I had to go all the way up through the gates. And then I was able to have a cigarette. I don't even think they do that anymore. I don't even think they allow that anymore.
No, I don't think so either. I know at Disneyland there's a smoking area up front, like outside the park gate to the right.
Yeah.
Over by the dumpster. Behind the school.
Then, there were some people going, oh, I'm still going to smoke in the parks. And then the kibosh was quickly put on that.
Let's see how, I'm going to try to be as sensitive as possible here. But I like how, in Jordan's example, he just said, this guy had to go to the front of the park. And just saying. You didn't actually have to do all those, Mr. Guy. Mm-hmm. It's not my fault that your vacation is dependent on your smoking habits.
So, on the path between Animal Kingdom, between Africa and Asia, there's a little side paths and whatnot, right?
Yeah, I love the side paths.
There's always one that it's like, oh, this looks cool. And then you get back there, and there's 50 fucking people puffing away on their freaking butts.
And they're smoking too.
Yeah, weird.
It's a party.
It just always annoyed the shit out of me. It's like, oh, it's pretty up here. I want to enjoy this. And this last time we went, I finally got to enjoy it. So fuck you, smokers.
Yeah.
Also, guys, let's just be honest. It is bad for your health. So
Yeah, like extremely.
like we want you to be around longer and smell better. So I keep saying we as if we are the ones enforcing this. But yeah, so that's controversy number 2. Number
also,
3.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
I remember we talked about the loose ice thing as well, and how people were already people were mad that they couldn't bring in the loose. Like, what?
I don't understand this one. I don't even remember this one.
You can just get ice at the park. Like, if you need a cup of ice, they'll just give you a cup of ice.
So are people like bringing in handfuls of ice cubes? What is this?
I remember not understanding this rule at all.
Yeah. I don't know if people were bringing in bags of ice or
They're
if people were bringing in
smuggling in ice cubes with inside their anus.
That wouldn't
because
last
that
very
keeps them
long.
cold.
And I thought these things smelled bad on the outside.
That's a cold ass honky. Literally. Anyway, number 3. Someone else. Jordan, what do you got for number 3?
Hold on. Let me go back to the 3.
Now, I hope you guys remember this one.
Yeah, this one was great. Suddenly, people are pissed Toy Story Land doesn't have Pizza Planet, which happened on May 1st, like 10 months after Toy Story Land opened. And I feel like the tweet prime on this was just somebody going, it's a travesty, or not a travesty, but like who overlooked the fact that there's a Toy Story Land and the one eatery isn't the Pizza Planet?
I got a question.
Yeah.
Why would Andy's backyard have a pizza restaurant?
Exactly.
There you go. You literally just solved the answer, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh. I did something right today?
Yeah, good job. But people jumped on board with this. They're like, yeah, why isn't there a Pizza Planet?
Yeah, but
But we had
argument.
a Pizza Planet and it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked so bad we had to rename it.
Yeah, and it still sucks.
Like, who is clamoring for more Disney pizza? It's not the best food item.
Man, remember when the fucking the pizza port had awesome pizza?
Yeah, those were.
And it was a good deal, and now it's just Disney pizza.
And it's not a good deal.
Have you guys ever had the room service pizza?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea and I have pulled that move sometimes where, like, when we're out and about and we can't figure out where we want to eat, but then we're so indecisive for so long that all the places actually close. And then we're like, well, shit, let's just order room service. And then room service will only deliver if you order, I think it's $20 or more.
So a hamburger.
Right. Well, Chelsea didn't want a hamburger. I wanted a sandwich, and Chelsea didn't want a sandwich. But they were like, yeah, we only have pizzas. I was like, all right, let's just order a pizza. And it's still not that good. Still not good.
Oh, I thought this was going to a better place.
No. No. If you've ever had the unfortunate
I haven't eaten there in like 14 years. But the flatbreads at Mama Melrose were pretty good. Are those still pizzas?
That's not Disney pizza. That's a different.
Yeah, like Via Napoli allegedly has good pizza.
But
it's all right.
Mama Melrose is still a Disney restaurant, isn't it?
Isn't that what Pizza Rizzo is now?
Right, but I'm talking about like a dedicated pizza place.
Pizza Rizzo.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza Rizzo. Okay, yeah. No, fair enough.
Right, because I can tell you that places like Pizza Rizzo or like the pizza that you get from like Starport or Pizza Fari, that's all the same pizza ingredients. They're just going to a different park. Whereas
just somewhere else.
Something like Mama Melrose or Via Napoli, like that's going to be more of your specified, we make this pizza this way with these ingredients.
Okay, so I've not done the Via Napoli, and I know that's a separate beast.
Mhm.
But I have had the pizza at their sister restaurant there at downtown Disney in Anaheim.
Naples?
Yeah, their pizza's pretty fucking good. Just saying.
Never had it.
It's pretty good. You should try it.
Via Napoli was okay.
Was it better than Pizzafari?
I've never had Pizzafari, but yes.
I mean, so my baseline pizza is Little Caesars, and when Disney pizza is not as good as Little Caesars, that's pretty goddamn telling.
I would much rather have a Little Caesars pizza than something from like Pizza Rizzo.
I just don't understand how they do pizza so bad. And if you guys couldn't tell, I'm a big fan of pizza.
Hey, nice blanket.
What blanket?
Oh.
This is a pizza.
Gross.
I feel sorry for anybody who watches this. Anyway, number 4.
It's actually pizza that size, though.
There's a place by me called Big Pie in the Sky that will serve you a pizza that big. And you can also do the challenge where if you and X amount of friends can eat the entire pizza in a certain time frame, you don't have to pay for it. But the catch is you can't go use the bathroom and you can't throw up.
Shit. But what if I really need to pee?
Pee on the pizza.
Yeah. Anyway.
Number 4. Josh, do you got the list or do you want me to read it? It's a short one.
I've got New Hollywood Studios logo, also May 1st.
Now, this is a simple one, but I remember people going like,
yeah, people fucking had kittens over this.
They changed the logo? Where was I over this when this happened?
On this program.
Yeah, because we talked about it.
I didn't even notice if it did have a new logo when we went.
Really clean logo. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's more of like it's not
Is it that different?
It's not an Art Deco Golden Age of film font. It's more of a very nice, crisp, modern font.
Yeah. I remember people were like complaining about that. They're like, "Look, I can come up with my own logo with my own font. Blah 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 blah." Here's a title.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Shit.
Yeah, it was also because they were also celebrating the 30th anniversary that month. Was it that month or was it that day? I think it might have been that day.
I think it was that day. I think
people started photoshopping different characters in the one of the O's because that was the thing. It was like there was X amount or a few of the logos and they had a different character in them. So people started photoshopping all the different characters in the O. Like Figment was in one of them. I feel like somebody like took it seriously and put the Rocketeer in one of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but there was just like the big argument was like, look how easy I can do it. I was like, okay.
Right.
Your point is
that doesn't diminish the fact that it still looks nice. Anyway.
Right. Why aren't you applying for this job at Disney then?
You're right. But I hate. Before we move on from this, I hate that like people are like, look, I can do it too. It's like, but you didn't.
Right. You didn't even think about doing this until you saw it done by somebody else first.
Yeah, you're just standing on someone else's shoulders.
Yeah.
Get down. So number 5, I like this one. So this is on May 29th. Was that D23?
No, D23 wasn't until August.
Oh, I wonder why this was on May 29th. Anyway,
because they announced that they were going to have announcements. That's what they did.
Oh, right. It says right here. I got to talk to the guy who wrote this down. Disney announces there will be new announcements for Epcot at this year's D23. People lose their shit. Rumors run wild. In the distance, sirens.
I feel like every 3 months the whole Brazil pavilion gets rumor gets pick back up.
That guy.
That was all but confirmed.
That guy. Fuck
Oh,
that
but-
guy with a non-skid fid.
What's the fit?
Google it.
Okay.
I'm not going.
Skid, fid.
Nah, just fid. Take off non-skid.
Oh.
A fid is a tool used for splicing rope.
Pass.
It's basically a fucking 4-inch diameter spike.
Oh, geez. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. Oh.
and then you just paint it with non-skid.
Wow. Someone take number 6. Because I'm
All right, I
sweating
got it. Hold on.
All right.
June 17th. A rumor that Toy Story marionette show will replace the Country Bears. The outcry rivals the catastrophe at Chernobyl.
Wait,
So,
what kind
what's really
what
funny-
kind of tree bears?
Country Bears. Anyway, what, Jordan?
Well, no, it's funny that this gets brought up because apparently the person who wrote this is, I guess, the talk of much. There's a much debate on Disney Twitter these last 2 days.
Oh, has there? Do we need another entry on this?
I don't think
Like a number one?
I don't think it's not a Disney controversy, but it's involving somebody who allegedly reports on Disney related products. So it's not like I would feel like it's
Is this the Brazil Pavilion guy?
Yeah, it is.
Fuck that guy.
With a fit?
And like no, like then and everybody on Diz Twitter, like the last 2 days has just been griping one way or another about this dude, and I don't care. I'm not a fan, but I'm not putting that energy out on Twitter. I don't want to add to the already fucking ridiculousness that's going on.
I kind of feel like that's our MO. Like we're the punk rock of Disney podcast, but we're not shifty. We're not
Yeah.
to an extent. We have called out a few people, but they deserved it.
I just don't give a shit. Like I don't go to the dude's website. I don't know the dude. I don't care to know the dude. I don't
know. Like when people start, like 2 months ago, people started having issues with Tim Tracker.
People always have issues with the trackers like once every 3 months, and it's always like somebody like they're not even on Twitter anymore because of like a couple from a few months ago whenever they announced their that they were gonna have a baby. Someone said something super shitty, and then they defended themselves, and then the rest of the people who for some reason don't like them started like ganging up on him, and which I think was completely unfair.
Yeah, that is.
Because the first comment was legitimately super shitty and shouldn't have been said in the first place. So like it should have been a non-issue. And but people with a keyboard are just fucking pieces of shit. However, going back to I love the trackers. I will defend Tim and Jen and to the day I die. They've been nothing but nice to me. Anyway, so going back to the controversy is this dude reported that the Country Bears was going away and it was going to be replaced by this Toy Story marionette show. And there's a lot of I don't want to use the word misinformation because that's not the correct term. But there's a lot of speculation. That's the word I was looking for. Speculation on whether this story was just completely made up by the person who reported it, or if this was a made up story in order to to like find people who work for the Disney company who are allegedly leaking these fake stories, these false stories, I should say, to these unofficial news sites. So I'm not sure which one it was. There's a lot of arguments for and against either one of them, but it caused a super big stir, and it was the talk of Diz Twitter for like a week, at least a week.
And what if it did turn into Toy Story per se? It wouldn't even really fit in the area that much.
I mean, it's in Frontierland. It would have been a Woody's Roundup type marionette show. Like I can see them doing something like that in Frontierland, but I don't see them getting rid of Country Bears to do it. Like Country Bears is too much of a staple to get rid of. But the fact that it was reported on this specific news site reported it, and it turned into a big thing, and then a lot of the people who don't like the site or the guy who runs the site were very vocal about it about the story, but also it turned into like a bigger conversation of like ethics in journalism and citing sources and being responsible journalist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So wait a minute, is this the Brazil guy again?
Yeah,
sure.
I just think he's full of shit and makes things up.
That's a possibility.
That was part of the thing.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't care for the website, so I don't go to the website.
Yeah, we're not going to say the name of it here.
Yeah.
But
that's news today. What?
Get the hell out. On that note, moving on to number 7.
Ariel is Black, which was on July 4th again.
Okay.
I remember this being ridiculous because people were up in arms. They had a fantasy creature, a mermaid, in the new upcoming live-action Little Mermaid was black. And it's just like, what are we complaining about?
There were a lot of shitty white people complaining about like, oh, it's a mermaid. Mermaids are white. Ariel was white. I'm like, well, well, she also doesn't exist.
Right. That's what I mean. It's a mermaid. It's a fantastical creature. It's what.
And then there were a whole bunch of even shittier white people that tried to take it one step further and prove that they were white by going back and looking at mermaid folklore and myths and trying to find old artwork about mermaids to show that mermaids were white. I'm like, listen, homeboy,
they went that far?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes, because the shitty white people always have to be right. And it did not help their case because clearly they have not read any kind of African folklore and mythology at all. So I will just point you in the direction of Mami Wata and Legba.
Are you suggesting that the shitty white people went back to their shitty white history and used that as evidence?
Yeah, it sounds kind of ludicrous, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like, I can't. That was one of the biggest things of the year for me. Like, I could not believe that was an issue, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for humanity.
Yeah.
I still don't understand it. I'm really excited for the movie, and
I know that
I have a question about the movie.
I know that a sing-along type movie came out, like, on Disney Plus. Live? Yes, that. It's the animated with live action just mixed together.
Yeah, where Moana was Ariel?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I didn't watch the whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I watched clips of it, and it was good.
Maybe that was where my confusion was. I heard somewhere something that Little Mermaid was coming out on Disney Plus and not theaters. Maybe that's...
No, it was on ABC.
Ah, okay.
They did a Little Mermaid live, and Auli Cravalho, also known as voice of Moana, played Ariel. Man, she can sing. Like, she kicks ass.
So I do think it's funny though because a couple days after this hit the fan on social media, somebody posted a screen cap from the Little Mermaid animated series that clearly shows a black mermaid.
Wait, really?
Not like in the background, but talking to Ariel.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like, that right there should just shut. Well, okay. The fact that this even happened, it should have been shut down from the beginning. But that also right there should have also shut down everything that had happened up to that point. But
I just don't
Should have been
understand.
honest.
I just don't understand why we're getting humans to pretend to be mermaids.
well, go find a mermaid. No, Josh, that's a manatee. How drunk were sailors back then?
At least 5.
A mermanatee.
When they were confusing mermaids with manatees.
They were, when you're on a boat for that long, everything's a mermaid.
Jeez. I don't ever want to go on a boat. Oh, there's the screen cap.
Wait, are they frolicking? They're frolicking.
Yeah,
They're swimming.
Yeah, underwater frolicking. Okay, number 8. This is one I remember Jordan brought up. Wait, there's a lot of pictures.
It was a whole episode.
So number 8
Wait,
is
hold on. Here's a GIF.
Oh, would you look at that?
It's a conga line.
That people. I'm done with this topic. I hate it. I hate it so much. This is probably my most hated one of the year. This wins the Jake Award.
All right.
But anyway, number 8
It's a weird
was one.
award.
The what?
So that's a weird thing to give an award to. This wins the Jake Award. What does the Jake Award even mean? Like, is it just?
No, it's bad, Jordan. You don't want the Jake Award.
All right.
So it really shouldn't be called an award at all. I don't know who named this piece of shit. It's just a hexagonal. This is a hexagonal star that says "Shut up."
Okay,
funny.
yeah. So the next one makes me angry.
So this is one that you knew about, and
Yeah.
I didn't follow much up on this one. So go ahead and take this one.
All right. So number 8, cast members walking to from their job with backpacks. So to kind of expand on it, this was a picture taken from somebody I used to follow on Twitter, who I no longer associate with just because he pulled this dick move. Cast members were walking to their station, but they were going through a different land, and I can't remember if they were working in Adventureland and was walking through Frontierland, or if it was vice versa. But they had their backpacks on and they were going to work, and somebody took a picture of them and put them on blast on social media, tagged Disney and said, "Hey, aren't there utilidors for this?" or some kind of bullshit, and then started to expand on this idea of going like, well, it ruins the magic for everyone else.
I thought it was in a park that didn't have utilidors.
No, this was in the Magic Kingdom.
Was it?
Yeah, this was in the Magic Kingdom.
And secondly, there's nothing really wrong with that.
I see the Animal Kingdom cast members all the time walking to and from the parking lot with their backpacks, and you know, my first thought is,
They're going to work.
There's someone going to work with a backpack on.
That's their stuff.
Good for you.
My first thought is, oh, they must work here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a huge fallout that happened because of this. There were some people who were defending the original photograph being posted and defended that the person who put all these employees on blast, saying, well, I'm going to go into my internet caricature here. Well, if I'm spending all this money on a magical vacation, I don't want to have it be ruined by looking at this stuff whenever I'm not in the appropriate land to see it, like, it just ruins the magic for me. Like, first off, internet, you can shut the fuck up. So there were some people that came out of the woodwork to defend this. And the guy even got a tweet back from Disney themselves saying, we're going to look into this. So he essentially got all of these employees in trouble. And it's funny we're talking about this now because like about a week and a half ago, I actually stumbled upon a Twitter thread from somebody that this affected. And this person actually lost their job because of this thing. There were apparently college students in the college program that were affected by this, as well as people who were relying on this job to pay their bills, more than likely do not work for Disney anymore. I know that there were some people that did lose their job over this. I don't know how many. I don't have all those details, but I know at least one. And the person that wrote this Twitter thread was saying this is what happened, and this is like essentially like because somebody was a jerk and posted a picture of this, I now no longer work here anymore, and I had to move out of my apartment because I had to break my lease because I couldn't pay rent. I had to move in with it was a huge thing.
Yeah. All because this guy didn't want to look at a backpack?
All because here's the deal. What he could have done was nothing.
Yeah.
What he should have done was
not the society we live in anymore.
Yeah, nothing at all. But no, dude decided to be a dick, put the photo online, and then a lot of people actually put him on blast and said, "Dude, this is poor taste. You're not making the parks better. Now you're actually affecting people who work in the parks and their personal lives. So
you're making someone else's life shittier."
I will say in the struggle of people who were agreeing with him and disagreeing with him, there were a lot of more people disagreeing with him on this. So it was one of those things where one of those few instances where a lot of people on Twitter and a lot of people on the internet like were defending the cast members, as if the cast members don't put up with enough shit with just shitty park guests all day long. Now they have to deal with this. So, but anyway, it turned into a whole thing, and the whole, like, I was following it from afar. And the entire situation left a really bad taste in my mouth, that I just stopped associating with this dude because I think he's kind of a giant tool. And I do not know this for certain. So I can neither confirm nor deny this, and I don't know. At risk of spreading misinformation, I think this person at one point was also an employee at Disney World. I don't know if they were employed by the Walt Disney Company, but through context clues, I think they were working for Disney at some point in time.
Wow, that makes it like just that much more worse.
Yeah. And it kind of sucks that guy decided to make someone else's life even worse just to get more into the magic. Like, it's kind of bull that guy decided to pull that.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever reason this person gives for doing what they did, it wasn't the right reason, and two, it was just a shitty move.
Yep.
More people complaining about the parks coming up, but first, number 9 on this list was, I found it kind of comical since nobody got hurt.
Yeah, but
number 9, what was it, like less than a week after the Skyliner closed,
or Skyliner opened?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Less than a week after the Skyliner opened, it closed abruptly.
Yeah.
Well, I after riding it, I can see how it may have happened.
Yeah, it's pretty.
The whole system's like, going on and off the fucking cable is pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
And if some small thing is out of sync, you know, you're gonna have a little fender bender there.
Yeah.
No one got hurt. Some people were inconvenienced.
But like when that happened, people were like, "This is it. The Skyliner's done. Disney wasted his money. No one's ever gonna ride this again." I remember this because it was like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just
Yeah.
like,
And people still ride it, and it's actually really awesome when you're riding it.
So, okay, I can't remember which line it was on. Do you guys
what,
remember?
they crashed?
Yes.
I feel like it was at the Riviera turn point, but I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that.
Well, wait. So, let's see.
I'll tell you where it wasn't. It wasn't
turn
at the Pop
point.
Century station.
So that's the long line. There's a short line and a long line. The turn point is in the long line. And if it crashes,
Not like the turn point, but like the where it splits at the Riviera. It's at the
Oh,
Riviera.
yeah, the middle part.
Yeah, the middle part where you can either continue on to Epcot or go over to Hollywood Studios.
Okay, so that's where both lines are.
Yeah, there's like 3 different ones.
There's two different lines.
Uh-huh.
And so there's a short one that goes to basically from the Riviera to Pop and the studios and Pop.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a long one that goes from Riviera and
Up
then
to Epcot.
and it has a turn station. So if it was the short one, I mean, okay, yeah, it fucking sucks, but it's not like the whole fucking system is down and offline. It's,
Yeah.
you know, less damaging.
Yeah. But
When we were there, I noticed that a lot of the time it would slow down or start to stop. Probably because they're like unloading someone and they had to like stop it just so that they could get everyone out in time.
Yeah,
Which makes sense. But it was really interesting how it all worked when we were there too.
yeah, but they fixed it. It's back up and running. Well, you know what? People are still using it. So
Yeah,
suck
it's
it, Diz Twitter. Number 10 is my runner-up for the Jake Award. It's a solid second place.
Yeah, this dude was a piece of shit.
Dude, I swear we were right in line for the 3 Caballeros with this guy.
Well, here's the thing. Let me see what it was first. Like, I don't even remember who this guy is or what show he's on, but we'll all remember the guy that got mad at the Stormtrooper at Galaxy's Edge for interrupting his vlog, his stupid food review, which was a piece of shit food review in the first place.
Which also, as a vlogger, those are the kind of interactions at a theme park you want. Like, no matter what you're doing, if a character comes up to you and wants to interact with you while you're recording, like, that, they don't do that for everyone. So when it happens, it's really fun and it's great. Like, that's... And also, the Stormtrooper went out of his way to seek those people out. Normally, whenever I'm running around Disney with a camera and I see a Stormtrooper and I try to get one, they try to go somewhere else and interact with other people.
Yeah.
Right.
So he didn't even have to chase down Streetmosphere.
Came right up to him and he shushed it. Like a dick.
No, not like... And he was a dick to them. Like, can I film a vlog, please?
Yeah.
Like, he was a dick about it.
Yeah.
And like, complaining about the exact same thing that I read about this, that in earlier vlogs, he said, like, you know, Disney cutting their entertainment budget and stuff. And it's like, this is the exact same thing you were complaining about. It just walked up and presented itself to you, and you complained about it. You shushed a Stormtrooper. That was an opportunity, like Jordan's saying.
Yeah.
So, I know we ragged on this dude pretty hard when this happened.
Well, he deserved it.
No, he totally deserved it, and he still does. Fuck that guy. But we were in line for the Three Caballeros, and there's a guy that looked just like him, and a chick was live vlogging on fucking some social media.
MySpace.
With him, and he kept fucking giving me the stink eye.
He knew.
I was gonna ask him if he's the stormtrooper guy. but
You should have.
In fact, that's why I text you guys.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
To see who it was, and I showed Vanessa, and she's like, maybe, but I think it was him.
But when this happened, I was so angry. I went to their YouTube channel and I subscribed, and then immediately unsubscribed. And commented that on their channel.
That's evil.
Well, I couldn't do much else. I wasn't subscribed, so I had to do it just so I could unsubscribe. They lost a powerful viewer that day, my friends. Or just
a viewer.
But still. But what I hate most about it, and we all fell into this, is like, damn it, this guy got a lot of views from that. I mean, they're all negative views. Whatever. F that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy with the non-skid fid.
And so now the last one I have here on the list was kind of a perpetual thing since the end of May, clear until December. Or no, when did it open? December 5th?
Yeah.
Everyone claiming that Galaxy's Edge was a flop.
I still don't understand how they could claim that when it wasn't even opened.
Yeah. And it's really fun.
But didn't they say the same? Didn't they do the same shit about Toy Story Land though?
Which is equally just as cool.
I feel like anytime Disney opens up a new section, you're gonna have the naysayers. It's a giant failure.
I don't know.
And the other group of naysayers that say, well, wouldn't want this.
I don't know how far you guys are in the Imagineering story on Disney Plus, but I feel like they did this on purpose. I feel like every episode they show a news article showing whatever opened was a flop, starting with the first episode and Disneyland itself. Disneyland was a flop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Disney knows that they're shoving it in everyone's face. Like, see this?
And now we're sitting here in the end of 2019 watching the biggest single land expansion that they've ever done. People claiming it's a flop before the Star Attraction even opens. And now that it is open at one of the parks, that talk seems to have gone away, and it's pretty insanely packed every single day. So
yeah, I can't wait to be able to ride it too, because it looks freaking awesome.
Well, you got a couple of years to get in that line, buddy.
Well, the Millennium Falcon's fucking phenomenal. So Rise of the Resistance gotta be.
And the Falcon is the minor ride of the land.
Yeah, and it's
and you know how many miners I saw on it?
At least 3.
Little guys with pickaxes.
Just chipping away at the walls.
Yep.
We dig. Boo.
Wait, did you see at least 3? There's 7 of them. I counted them.
I can't count, Josh. I'm illiterate.
Oh, you should see a doctor about that. There's these little blue pills they have for it.
I didn't say illegitimate. I said illiterate.
Jake, we need to talk about this off air now.
No. I will discuss anything and everything right. No, I won't. Well, that's the last thing on the list. So, Jordan, did you ever find out what number 1 was?
No, I have no fucking clue. I'm wondering if it was like anything that carried over from 2018, like maybe the Buzzy guy. Which was hilarious because he got slammed by the police. Did you see that video?
What, no. There was a video? Was it the actual Disney guy?
Yeah, it was. Apparently there's footage of him in the interrogation room with a couple of police officers, and the dude's trying to act like he's hot shit, and he's like, "So tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna walk on out of here. You can talk to my lawyer, and I'm gonna take my cell phone." And apparently, the cell phone was a piece of evidence. So he grabs the cell phone from the cops, and then the cops like tackle him and like bring him down.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Is this on YouTube? I need to watch this.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
If you find it, Jake, if you find it, or if Jordan finds it, send it to the group.
Will do. Anyway, I know we said we were going to talk about Star Wars, but
Yeah, I found it.
I was not expecting this list to take up the entire episode. So, guys, how do you feel about next week's episode, entire Rise of Skywalker and Mandalorian season finale talk? We good with that? And sprinkle in some Jedi Fallen Order in there.
Yeah, but
what?
All right, I found it. I'm sending it to you guys.
all right.
All right, so you have to skip to the 10-minute and 19-second point.
All right.
All right, will do. And on that note, guys, it's been a year, and here's looking forward to the next year.
Yeah.
And on that note,
2 minutes on how many seconds?
10 minutes and 19 seconds.
All right.
And on that note, guys, that's our show. You've been listening to Mickey Mutineers. I'm Jake, that's Josh, that's Jordan, that's Robbie, as always.
Oh.
Happy Blue Year.
Well, you never let me finish my fucking argument here. I was just cut off with facts.
Yeah.
You sound like a Trump supporter.